I try to tell you about what you and I should be, but I knew not what to say, and I knew not how to say it, and I couldn't even tell you why. No, I couldn't even tell you why. I knew then that all of my breaths were in vain. Oh, I thought it would never come, no. But now it's all changed. The world's in my hands. It's taken so long now, but I can't complain. If I'd given in, my sun would implode. But now it is burning, it's burning again. Well, I don't think that I've ever known for sure the world is the way it's supposed to be. You've always seemed to be far beyond my boundaries. And in my time I have read some books and I've learned a little bit about the way things are. But it all seemed to escape me when I saw you smiling up at me. But you told me what to say, and you told me how to say it. When you looked into my eyes, oh, when you looked into my eyes, I knew then that all of my troubles were gone. Oh, I thought But when I try to tell you about what you and I should be, but I knew not what to say, and I knew not how to say it, and I couldn't even tell you why. No, I couldn't even tell you why. I knew then that all of my breaths were in vain. Oh, I thought it would never come, no. But now it's all changed. The world's in my hands. It's taken so long now, but I can't complain. If I'd given in, my sun would implode. But now it is burning, it's burning again. Well, I don't think that I've ever known for sure the world is the way it's supposed to be. You've always seemed to be far beyond my boundaries. And in my time I've read some books and I've learned a little bit about the way things are. But it all seemed to escape me when I saw you smiling up at me. But you told me what to say, and you told me how to say it. When you looked into my eyes, oh, when you looked into my eyes, I knew then that all of my troubles were gone. Oh, I thought it would never come, no. But now it's all changed. The world's in my hands. It's taken so long now, but I can't complain. When I was with you, my mind had no words. I may not have many, but baby, they're true. If only I'd known all of these years, you'd unlock the door behind all of my fears. If I'd given in, my sun would implode. But now it is burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning again.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Please welcome a man who can't look at himself because he just really needs a haircut, and it makes him really sad that he can't have a haircut and he just really wants a haircut. It's a lot to deal with. It's Lewis Jones. Hello there. Good evening. Whoa. Wow, wee wah. I'm alright. I'm alright. Are you alright? I hope you're alright. I feel like I'm alright. I need a haircut, man. Really need a haircut. I mean, I know there's big stuff going on in the world right now. I'm not going to be one of those Americans who are standing on the front of city halls saying, I need a haircut. There's bigger stuff going on. But I'd like a haircut. You know, come 2018, I became a guy that does haircuts after a long time of basically not really getting haircuts. I was a guy who regularly got haircuts. That was 2019 for me, regular haircuts. And, you know, not had one since 2020, 0 haircuts. Phil Weaver says, blimey, it's like looking at a Wookiee. Exactly, Phil. You know, I have the same loyalty and courage as Chewbacca. And the hair, the trifecta, the 3 main things. But oh well. But hey, great week to be alive. I've completed my first year of university, which is exciting, and now I'm free. And you'd think you've got nothing else to do, Lewis. Would you concentrate on your quiz? Yeah, that should be it. But instead, I finished this about an hour ago, so. It's going to be a good quiz, though. I think it's fun. I think there's some fun bits. I think there's some hard bits. I think there's some easier bits. The classic combo. You know, you need all of those elements to have a good time. I'm sure you'll agree. Let's get looking at the preamble bit of the quiz, shall we? Let's move to my face down in the corner. Oh, there I am. Welcome to the quiz. It's lovely to have you. If you do like quizzes, I do another quiz via email. It's an emailed quiz. You can go to that website there, tinyletter.com/recklessrapid. I send 10 questions out every week in an only connect style, 4 clues or 3 clues, and you have to see the next one. Questions like this: what connects poet Hank Gray and Fluke? If you're looking at them and you can see that there's a Star Wars character, speaking of Wookiees, in each one, Poe, Han, Rey, and Luke, then maybe you could win that. Maybe you'd like to get involved, so you can sign up. This week's winner, the first team to email me before this quiz started with the most answers, is Team Makers Mark, Matthew, Luke and John. Congratulations to them. A very strong team who do very well in that every week. Haven't won this quiz yet. I'm hoping this will be their week here. Let's see. How this quiz is going to work, it's your classic quiz. It's a questions and answers kind of event. There are going to be 5 rounds. There'll be 10 questions in each round. Each round has a separate Google form. You can find those Google forms on the Facebook page, or you can see them in the description below on this video. At the end of each round, you'll submit your answers. We'll mark after those, and at the end at half time using those times. Whoever has the most points wins. It's the fairest way of doing it. I'm sure you'll agree. And the most important rule is don't cheat. Why would you cheat? You're only cheating yourselves, and you're cheating me and other people. So most people, you're cheating a lot of people. Don't cheat any of them. Cheats may prosper, but they're bell ends. Never forget it. Never forget it. If you were to win the quiz this week, there's a prize. What's that prize? It's the same prize as always. It's my standard prize. It's a good prize. What is that prize? 50 English pounds. A pretty penny. Wouldn't say no to it. So if you win tonight, you can win that. How do we get that money though? Your donations. All of the prize money comes from your donations. So if you'd like to donate, we'd appreciate it. You can go to paypal.me/LJ47 to send across a donation. We have a few donations already. So shout out to Phil Weaver, to Josh Chalice, and to Joe Harker and the Lockdown Legends. And I think I have another one. Thanks to my mum. She wants to point out that her name, she's changed her surname. She was a Jones. Her and dad finally got divorced after 30 years of marriage, 20 of which were separated. They thought, yeah, why not? Why not? Let's do it now. Let's separate. And so she's gone back to Diath. So thanks for the £10, Michelle Diath. But yeah, all of your donations are appreciated. If you want to send them to me, you can do at that link. Some of the money goes to prize money. I take a little bit, not too much, off the top. And the rest of it goes to charity. We do a different charity every week. This week's charity is the Smile of Aaron Trust, who are a charity, again, local to my home area of Hayville, Suffolk, and its environs, who help children with brain tumours. We helped another local charity about children with brain tumours, the Joshua Tarrant Trust, a couple of months ago. Smile of Aaron Trust do similar things. I think theirs is a lot more leaning towards helping out on the research side, but they do a lot of events to raise money in memory of Aaron, who sadly lost his life at a very young age. So if you want to donate, we'd appreciate it. Really would. If you have a good charity as well that you'd like to raise money for in future during this quiz, let me know. Send me a message. I'm always looking for charities to help out, but the Smile of Aaron Trust is this week's. I think that's pretty much all of the preamble, which means we get to the quiz. That's where the questions are. If you've done this quiz before, you know that every week we start the first round with a round where every answer has the same 3 letters in. We go through the alphabet each week. We're at week 13, Spooky Ooky Spider's Delight, week 13. This is no scarier than any normal round. It's the same quiz. Same excellent quiz, of course, but no spooky or scarier. But the thing this week, because we've got to the letter M, is mans. Not men. Men, of course, normally the plural of man. But no, these are mans. So every single one of these answers is going to have the letter M-A-N, man. The word man will be in the answer. Just got another donation through from Keith Penn. Thank you very much, Keith, for your donation. Very much appreciated. And another one from Jenny Clark. Last week's victors in this quiz, Jenny Clark. Thank you very much, Jenny. Okay, let's get ahead of ourselves and answer question number 1. Which film starring Elizabeth Moss, a modern adaptation of a 19th century novel, was the penultimate #1 film at the UK box office before lockdown? Which film starring Elizabeth Moss, which was a modern adaptation of a 19th century novel, was the penultimate #1 film at the UK box office, before lockdown? I've got another donation here through from Raymond Tate. Thank you very much, Raymond. And from Victoria Ives. Thank you very much for all your donations so far. Really very much appreciated. It's paypal.me/LJ47 if you'd like to donate. The link is below. I didn't see this film, but I heard it was scary. I do like Elizabeth Moss. Excellent in The Mad Men and The Handmaid's Tale. I think the last #1 before lockdown was Pixar's Onward, which you can now see on. I think it's on. They just put it on Disney Plus. A lot of films just going on Disney Plus now. There's that adaptation of Artemis Fowl on there, which is supposed to be absolutely dog shite awful. So look forward to watching that. That's question number 1. Which film starring Elizabeth Moss was the penultimate #1 film at the UK box office before everything shut down? Question number 2. What nickname was given to the third and final boxing match between Muhammad Ali and... I've not put the other person there. Between Muhammad Ali and who? Great question. Who knows? I think it was Joe Frazier, wasn't it? I'm going to double check. I don't know how I've missed that. I mean, I obviously made this in a rush today. And I'm mentally gone wrong. But somehow I've missed an important part of that question. But, you know, it just means that you have to listen to me. Oh, got another donation from Chris Titt. Thank you very much to Chris Titt, the man, the legend. Yeah, it was correct. It was between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. So Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier's third and final boxing match that was held in the Philippines in 1975. What nickname was given to that bout? I wish I could change the words on the screen in the middle of the quiz, but I don't trust myself not to accidentally delete everything. So not going to do that. What's happening in the chat? Sam Penn's in the chat. Sam Penn and Jack Swindlehurst seem happy to see each other. Ms says thank you and congratulations to finish my first year. Thanks for that, Ms. Very kind of you. My mum says hi. Hi, mum. Matt the Whale says good luck everyone. Love that, very kind. Sam F says Hamilton's going to be on Disney Plus soon. Yes, July the 3rd. Very much looking forward to it, Sam F. Jack says less of the foul language. He's doing a pun, he loves puns. And then he's written Joe Frazier, just so you know, just in case you need to remind. It's Joe Frazier, he's down there. So that's question number 2. What nickname was given to the third and final boxing match between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, held in the Philippines in 1975? Question number 3. What word is used, particularly in fantasy, to describe someone who uses black magic to commune with or to raise the dead? I mean, fantasy, you know, particularly in fantasy literature and television, stories in general. I doubt it's used much in real life because you can't commune with or raise the dead in real life. Though I imagine probably in the past people still tried to do it and claimed they had done it. But if you were to do that, what would your name be? I don't know. In the chat, Harry Robinson says, "Oi, oi, Quizmaster." Hi, Harry. Hello to all of the Team Shorthand Job who are back this week. Took last week off to prepare for an exam, like losers. I, like a cool guy, decided to defer that exam. But they're back. Glad to have them back. They feel very positive. Spoke to Adam from that team briefly earlier, and he says that they're going to win tonight. We shall see. We shall see. Sam F says, you use dark magic to raise the dead, Lewis. And then Sam F says that it's Leone, by the way. So Leone is Sam F. Let's remember that from now on. Hi, Leone. I hope you guys are doing well. And very kind of you to say that I use dark magic to raise the dead. Her Google account is still the name of her housemate from uni, from when she made a fake email to create an OkCupid for him. A beautiful 21st century story wrapped up there. So that is question number 3. What word is used, particularly in fantasy, to describe someone who uses black magic to commune with or to raise the dead? Question number 4. What is the final country the Danube, Europe's second longest river, passes through before emptying into the Black Sea? What is the final country the Danube, Europe's second longest river, passes through before emptying into the Black Sea? I believe, to be completely accurate, some of the delta of the Danube is in the Ukraine. But that doesn't have man in it. So you're all right there. I think we've got a couple more donations. Let me see. Got a donation from Susan Goodwin. Thank you very much, Susan. It was Susan who recommended this week's charity. So thank you very much for that, Susan. From Rebecca Obermeyer and all of Hannah Hitchens' team. From Rachel Brown. And from Gears for Queers. And they say, also, can you wish Jenny happy birthday tomorrow? Happy birthday, Jenny. That's the team that are currently the champs. They're the reigning champs. Hopefully they can get another win for Jenny's birthday. Let's see, shall we? So that's question number 4. What is the final country that Danube passes through before it empties into the Black Sea? Question number 5. Which virtually indestructible steel alloy coats the skeleton of Wolverine in the Marvel Comics universe? Which virtually indestructible steel alloy coats the skeleton of Wolverine in the Marvel Comics universe? The steel doesn't exist in real life. It's fictional. It's only in that universe. Just in case you thought it was real. Another donation from Dan Pratt. Thank you very much, Dan. Dan says, use this on your first haircut post-lockdown. A great idea. I will. Thank you very much. You're too kind. Very much needed. I'm sure you can agree. I looked at the screenshot of my head from the first week of this quiz. You can watch all of the quizzes you can go back and catch up on. And scary. What's happened to the old head there? Got another donation from Charlotte Westdyke. Thank you very much, Charlotte, and all of their team. She says, love CW, that's her. AA, that's Alfred. SR, that's Stacey. LJ, that's me. Who's LJ? I'm confused. And DA. I hope that's Dave or Diana Allen. I hope they're involved. Always hope they're involved. But yeah, thank you very much for all the donations so far. So that's question number 5. Which virtually indestructible steel alloy coats the skeleton of Wolverine in the Marvel Comics universe? Question number 6 in this round. Founded in the 19th century, which historical empire gives its name to a footstool with a hinge and storage space? Founded in the 13th century, which historical empire gives its name to a footstool with a hinge and storage space? What's going on in the chat? Jenny seems happy with her shout out for her birthday. She said, oh. Rodri says, almost posted that answer in the chat again. Be careful, Rodri. Be careful. You're better than that. Leonie says, I really like your top today. Thank you very much, mate. That's very kind. I like this one. This was from last summer where I bought clothes. It was a new thing for me, buying clothes. I did a lot. And Jack Wilson says, shout out for Mike from the Minty Chocolate big birthday this week. Happy birthday very much, Mike. Hope you enjoy it. Maybe this will be the week that the Minty Chocolate crew finally get that big win. We shall see. It's been on the cards for quite a while. Best ranking team yet to get a win. So it's within their grasp. So that's question number 6. Founded in the 13th century, which historical empire gives its name to a footstool with a hinge and storage space? Question number 7. Literally meaning whimsical pictures, what word is used in the West to refer to Japanese? What's that apostrophe doing there? I've got so many mistakes this week and I hate myself. My apologies to everyone. Literally meaning whimsical pictures, what word is used in the West to refer to Japanese comic books and graphic novels? Literally meaning whimsical pictures, what word is used in the West to refer to Japanese comic books and graphic novels? Izzy says, shout out to Charlotte and Steve Minter doing their first LJ quiz this week. Hello, Charlotte and Steve. Delighted to have you amongst us. Thank you very much. I hope you have fun. I hope you do well. We shall see. Let me know. And Matt the Whale says, these are Dundee United colours. I was not aware of that, but I'm glad to be representing the great people of Dundee this evening, Matt. Thank you for pointing that one out. That's question number 7. Literally meaning whimsical pictures, what word is used in the West to refer to Japanese comic books and graphic novels? Question number 7. Which British band scored the first new #1 single of the 2000s with The Masses Against the Classes? Doesn't really work in my accent. The Masses Against the Classes. But still. Which British band scored the first new #1 single of the 2000s with The Masses Against the Classes? Masses Against the Classes, Masses Against the Classes. I believe the first #1 single in the UK of the 2000s was Westlife, with a double A side, one of which might have been Flying Without Wings. But this was the first new single to be #1. Hadn't been #1 before in the previous old millennium. What else did I wanted to shout out this week. I've started probably too late, like it's 3 months in, which is maybe too late. But I've started a new Facebook group for this quiz called LJ's Quarantine Quiz Club. I will be posting all the stuff about the quiz in there in future. So if you've not joined it already on the old FB, do it. Get involved, and you can see all of the things that I add in there. I'll probably do some little bonuses here, there, and there. So worth a join. Makes it easier to send invitations. There's problems with invitations this week. Very annoying. Very annoying. But, you know, do what I can. Come on. Got another donation from Helen Wilson. Thank you very, very much, Helen, as always. Shannon says, we'll never hate you. Never, ever, ever. That's very kind, Shannon. I'll never hate you either. And Austin says, shout out to Mother Browser, aka Karen, who's joined our team this week. Hi, Karen. Glad to have you aboard. The more the merrier. Always like having new people. You know, I like all the old people as well. Glad to have you guys back. But nice to have some new blood occasionally, right? So that's question number 8. Which British band scored the first new #1 single of the 2000s with The Masses Against the Classes? Question number 9. Which mythical creature... I can't even talk. I've lost my mind. My apologies. Which mythical creature of Persian origin has the head of a human, the body of a lion, and the tail of a scorpion? Which mythical creature of Persian origin has the head of a human, the body of a lion, and the tail of a scorpion? What a combo. What a combo. Has a very strong hide, as I recall, and a potent venom. At least within the fictional world of the Harry Potter books. So I'm sure the Potterheads out there will have no problem with this bad boy. Even if they do have problems with politics of the woman who wrote those. Strange week she had on Twitter, right? We've all had a strange week on Twitter. There's a lot of things at the moment. There's a lot of things. So that's question number 9. Which mythical creature of Persian origin has the head of a human, the body of a lion, and the tail of a scorpion? And finally, for this round, question number 10. Which 20th century American painter and illustrator gives his name to the 6th and most recent Lana Del Rey album? Which 20th century American painter and illustrator gives his name to the 6th and most recent Lana Del Rey album? Harry says in the chat, shout out to Mother Crikey, aka Charlie, who's on a team like normal. Lovely. And Jack Raven says, it's looking like a great decision getting my parents involved in our team. Lovely to hear it, Jack. Boosting out your points. I believe, your and Jade's team is waiting for that moment to shine. Maybe this is it. Maybe bringing in the parents is going to be the little bit of difference that you needed to take it to the next level. Also hope that you had a good birthday yesterday. And in the chat, Leonie says, fresh out of Fucks Forever, what a tune. I assume that's on the Lana Del Rey album. I have not listened to it, but maybe I should. Lana Del Rey, not. She seems alright. She said something weird recently, didn't she? Well, she's a celebrity. All celebrities say weird things. That's just basically what we should know by this point. Anyway, that's all your questions in this round. So that 10th one, what is the name of the painter who gives his name to the most recent Lana Del Rey album? And that's the end of the round. So please answer every question. You know man is in the answer, so why not make a guess? Put man in there somewhere. You'll make it work out. Spell your team name correctly. Make sure you're spelling it right every single round. It really helps me and my assistant Alice to get your scores together very quickly, so we'd appreciate that. Once you've done all that, press submit. It will come through to us and we can start marking it. So I'm going to give you 3 or 4 minutes, let's say just up until 8 o'clock. Why not? I'll be back a couple of minutes before then. So if you want to submit your answers, I'll see you in a couple of minutes.
The curtain's still lowered, it's just before dawn. I'm standing here wondering I've waited so long. By the time the clock strikes 6, I'll be somewhere far, far away. No matter all the tears you shed when you asked me to stay. Doctor said I don't feel so good. My temperature's high and I'm misunderstood. But he said, son, you know I'm not that kind of doc, but I know just what to do. And if you thought for a second, I think you know it too. Said, Father, I've sinned. I spent my whole life living out on the fringe. But he said, son, you know, well, that's not a sin, but I know just how you feel. Yeah. I think you should go out and find something real. So go ahead and wipe that sad look from your eyes. I'm a magic man, you know, you shouldn't be so surprised. out to the delivery man. I told him I'm running as far as I can. He said, son, I don't really know you, but I hope you find what you're looking for. And if you gotta go, you ought to do it with style, you know. Yeah, so go ahead and wipe that sad look from your eyes. I'm a magic man, you know, you shouldn't be so surprised. No, I've had a lot of practice, so really there's nothing to fear. So all of you please sit back, relax, and watch me disappear. Yeah, so all of you please sit back, relax, and watch me disappear. The curtain's still lowered, it's just before dawn. I'm standing here wondering
Hey, I am back. Hope you're doing well. Got some answers in. Obviously don't know how our numbers are this week. The numbers could just be a bit lower. Might be the case. I don't know. We'll see. We'll wait for maybe a couple more to come in. There are a couple more, so that's all right. Let me see in the chat. Leonie says, do you want to feel sad yet sultry? Listen to Lana Del Rey. Well, I mean, what a claim. Who doesn't want to feel that? Yes, please. Paige says, sorry, our phone died. And also she gives a shout out to the BBC, says she misses them, which is nice. It's easy to miss people, isn't it? It's weird when you don't see alive people in your real life. Luckily here, a couple of people have moved back. So, hopefully, get to hang out with people. We'll see. Anyway, I think we're looking at everyone. I've got a lucky number 42 in. So, let's see what them answers were, shall we? So, Q numero uno. Which film starring Elizabeth Moss, based on a 19th century novel, was the multiple number one film at the UK box office? That novel was written by the always excellent H.G. Wells, and that was The Invisible Man. The Invisible Man. A new modern retelling. I don't think it's about Hawley Griffin, like the original book. But The Invisible Man was the answer. Question number 2. What nickname was given to the third and final boxing match between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, held in the Philippines? Capital of the Philippines is Manila. It was the Thriller in Manila. Was it as good as the Rumble in the Jungle? I just don't know. Question number 3. What word is used, particularly in fantasy, to describe someone who uses black magic to commune with or to raise with the dead? That is a necromancer. Necro meaning dead, mancer using to use magic. There's various sorts of mancers in fantasy literature. Question number 4. What is the final country that the Danube passes through before emptying into the Black Sea? Saw a few people guess Germany. Unfortunately, the source of the Danube is in Germany. It's in the Black Forest. This is the other end, down at the Black Sea. It is Romania. Number 5, which virtually indestructible steel alloy coats the skeleton of Wolverine in the Marvel Comics universe? That is adamantium. Number 6, founded in the 13th century, which historical empire gives its name to a footstool? That empire, which didn't cease until I think 1924, so a long run for them, is the Ottoman Empire. Based in modern-day Turkey, of course, Constantinople. 7, literally meaning whimsical pictures. What word is used in the West to refer to Japanese comic books and graphic novels? That is manga. Question number 8. The British band who had the first new number 1 of the 2000s with The Masses Against the Classes was the Manic Street Preachers. They deleted that single from the record as soon as... It's not ever been on a best of. As soon as it was released, they went, no, we're not having any in the back catalogue. It's out, which is interesting. I couldn't tell you how it goes, but it's been number 1. I think it's only their second number 1. Interesting, guys. Question number 9. Which mythical creature with the head of a human, the body of a lion, and the tail of a scorpion? That is a manticore. A manticore. And number 10. Which 20th century American painter and illustrator gives his name to the most recent Lana Del Rey album? That is Norman Rockwell, or she calls it on her album Norman effing Rockwell. The effing means fucking, just in case you didn't know. So that is your first round. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. So we're going to move on to round number 2 in a second. Let's see if there's anything I need to catch up on. Harry Robinson says, Lana Del Rey is the Grim Reaper of music. Strong claim, Harry, but I like it. I like those bold words. Chris Titt says he's disappointed that Steve McManaman was not an answer in that round. I'm not really sure why. And a few more donations. So thank you very much to Jack. He says he's hoping it's lucky number 13 for their team tonight against some tough opposition, but he thanks me for the consistent entertainment, which is very kind, Jack. Thank you. Donation from Paige. Thank you, Paige, as always. I think she's the biggest fan of the quiz, if I had to name one. And a donation from Molly Ryder, who says it's from Isdog, Moldog, and the big dolphin herself, Libertha Clarence, the big team. Congratulations. Thank you very much for those donations, guys. In the chat, Daisy says Manticore has got to be the best guess we've ever done. That's what it's about, Daisy. As I always say, quizzing is 90% guessing. Good guessing will get you everywhere in a quiz. Helen says, will you just take Ottoman? Yeah, we'll take Ottoman. That's fine because we don't know. We don't need the Empire bit. It was in the question, so that's fine. And it's the name of the thing. And Adam says, did you know it's called a womanticore if it has a woman's head? I didn't know that, Adam. I think you've probably made it up. But, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, round 2, as always, it's Answer Smash. This week, musicals. People love musicals, so I thought I'd treat you to a little slice of musicals. So, I'm going to show you a still from a stage musical. You have to name that musical, and beneath that, there'll be a question. The end of the musical will end with the start of the question. You have to smash the 2 bits together to get the answer. You need both bits for the point. If you just put one half, I'm not doing any half points, you need both, and you need to smash them together. So let's look at an example for the first one if you've not done this before. Here is a picture. Those are 2 guys. They're holding each other's hands like that because they are blood brothers. So that's from Blood Brothers. And the question beneath, So Far Away and Money for Nothing were singles from which best-selling Dire Straits album? That is Blood Brothers in Arms. Blood Brothers, Brothers in Arms, put them together, Blood Brothers in Arms. If you put Blood Brothers, Brothers in Arms, that's not what we want. You've got to smash the 2 bits together. Where the shared letters are, only use those letters once. You know how it works. We'll have some fun here. I think there's some really good ones, if I do say so myself. So let's see what we've got. Question number 1. This one, starting you easy, I hope. This musical, very successful stage musical, long running, made a lot of money. What is the name of that musical? And then smash that together with Goneril, Regan and Cordelia all appear in which Shakespearean tragedy? Goneril, Regan and Cordelia all appear in which Shakespearean tragedy? Got another donation from our main man, Sassy P himself, Sam Penn. Thank you very much, Sam. Appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. The whole Penn family, who I know are fans of this quiz, I hope you're all doing well. So smash those 2 together. Question number 2. This musical, maybe less distinctive than the last one, but the speakers and the sort of post-apocalyptic leather maybe should be your big clues. And then combine that with which James Bond film, the 5th released, features his first meeting of Bond and his nemesis Blofeld. Which James Bond film, the 5th one to be released, features the first meeting of Bond and his nemesis Blofeld. In that one, I believe Blofeld is played by Donald Pleasance. Later played by Telly Savalas and Charles Gray and the Austrian guy who's in the Quentin Tarantino films, Christoph Waltz. All great actors. But what is the name of that film where Bond first meets Blofeld? That's question number 2. Push those 2 answers together. Question number 3. This one, I think it's a more recent one. Definitely a big award winner. I think it won Best Musical at the Tonys a few years ago. An adaptation of a British comedy. So take the name of that musical and combine it with which legendary bassist, a member of Parliament Funkadelic, is well known for his outlandish sense of style. Which legendary bassist, a member of Parliament Funkadelic, is well known for his outlandish sense of style. And to be honest, some of the outfits in that picture, you could see him wearing some of that footwear. It's what he goes for while he plays funk all up and down you. That's what he do. He also, I think, was the first person on earth to get the funk in The Mighty Boosh, if you remember that back in the day. Question number 3, combine that musical with which legendary bassist and member of Parliament Funkadelic is well known for his outlandish sense of style. Question number 4, a very recognisable one there, I'm sure. The Mask. Very popular, this one as well. I think this might be the one that's literally one of the highest grossing things of all time, not even just musicals. This musical is like in the top 10 things of all time that have made the most money, which is mad. But what is the name of that musical? And then, located on the Atlantic Ocean, what is the capital city of Morocco? Located on the Atlantic Ocean, what is the capital city of Morocco? Just checking the answers from the first round, it seemed that everyone did really well, which is impressive. Lots of tens. Lots of tens. And the view rate for this stream just hit 100 for the first time this night. So we're a little bit down on numbers, but the stream seems to be doing okay, and that's what matters. If you do enjoy this quiz, invite your friends, tell people about it, spread the word. The more the merrier. Of course, the more people we have, the more likely we're to raise money for charity, which is the main thing. So, if you've not donated yet tonight, why not? I'd appreciate it. Thank you. So that's question number 4, located on the Atlantic Ocean. What is the capital city of Morocco? Question number 5. This one, maybe a harder one. But I think this has been in the West End recently and has been quite successful. The flags in the background and the military element might be some clues. Combine the name of that musical with Reg Varney starred as double-decker driver Stan Butler in which popular sitcom of the 1970s? Reg Varney starred as double-decker driver Stan Butler in which popular sitcom of the 1970s? I really feel like there's going to be a new winner tonight in the quiz. I feel strong for it. I think we've got some good questions coming up, and hopefully they'll be leaning a little bit a different way, and someone that's not won recently will win, or Toby's team will win again. That has been the case so far. We'll see. So that was question number 5. Take the name of that musical and combine it with Reg Varney starred as double-decker driver Stan Butler in which popular sitcom of the 1970s? Question number 6. This musical. I have no idea what this musical is about, to be honest. I know it's about that woman. I think that's Bernadette Peters playing her there. The legendary Bernadette Peters. Legendary because she was in The Jerk with Steve Martin. And apparently she's good at singing and other stuff as well. But take the name of that musical and smash it together with similar in appearance to Licorice Allsorts but smaller, which traditional confectionery is an assortment of fondants and jellies. Similar to appearance to Licorice Allsorts but smaller, which traditional confectionery is an assortment of fondants and jellies. Like a traditional British Haribo Star Mix. Though I would rather have a Haribo Star Mix. I do love a Haribo Star Mix. We're very lucky this week, of course, that the quiz tonight, Thursday night, is the night where there's no football. Football's back. I'm sure you enjoyed it last night. But in future, I think there will be football on Thursday nights. Maybe not everyone, but a lot of them. So we'll keep doing the quiz, mostly because they don't matter, because Liverpool have won. So I'll still be here doing what's what. If you still care to join me, I will act as counter-programming for you guys that don't like the football, and I know there's a lot of you out there, so I'm happy to be here assisting. So that's question number 6. Combine that musical with the name of the sweets that are similar to Licorice Allsorts but smaller. Question number 7. This one, I mean, even if you don't know the musical, you can guess who that guy's supposed to be. I found most of the pictures I found of this musical were more modern and featured John Legend in the title role, which I found confusing. Even though maybe it shouldn't have. Maybe that's me and my own prejudices. But this guy's got a traditional look, perhaps, for this role. Combine the name of that musical with the predominant flavour in Chinese 5-spice. What pointed dried fruit of the Illicium verum tree is prized for its highly fragrant oil? The predominant flavour in Chinese 5-spice. What pointed dried fruit of the Illicium verum tree is prized for its highly fragrant oil? Love that Chinese 5-spice. Chinese 5-spice is the one for me. Chinese 5-spice, put it in my tea. Classic. In the chat, Diego says, up the Gooners, Lou. I mean, City certainly put some goals up the Gooners last night, Diego. But better luck. Brighton, I think, at the weekend. Charlie, who's doing the quiz tonight, big Brighton fan. So it's the Diego versus Charlie head-to-head. We'll see how that goes. And Jack, forever a pro when it comes to the lower leagues, points out that tonight is actually the League 2 playoff final first leg between Northampton and Cheltenham. So the big match. I know that that's probably why the numbers are down this week, to be honest, because all the Northampton fans Cobblers. The bloody Cobblers. To be honest, I wasn't that bothered when I watched football yesterday. It was like, oh, okay. I don't like the fake noise. But, hopefully it'll be alright. Hopefully I'll get used to it. Certainly looking forward to Manchester United knocking a few against Spurs tomorrow. I imagine that'll be a thrashing. We'll see. Anyway, so that's question number 7. Combine the name of that musical with the spice that is the predominant flavour in Chinese 5 spice. It's 1/5 of the 5 spice. Question number 8. This one, it's a hit. We may have already discussed it this evening in the chat. I've seen it 4 times. Unfortunately, I won't be seeing it this year because they're closed on the West End until next year because of the old Crin Cran. But hopefully we'll see it. Combine that with which Nobel Prize winning author who died in 2019 wrote the novels Song of Solomon and Beloved. Which Nobel Prize winning author who died in 2019 wrote the novels Song of Solomon and Beloved. I hear great things about Beloved. A lot of people rating it, particularly, with everything that's happening at the moment. A recommended read. That's question number 8. Combine that hit musical with which Nobel Prize winning author who died in 2019 wrote the novels Song of Solomon and Beloved. Onwards to question number 9. This one, you know that one. You've seen the film. In the chat, Mum says, come on, you Spurs. She says, come on, your Spurs. Which is odd, but still. Leonie says she's never seen it. Can't wait to watch. Very pricey, though. I mean, for you to get down from Manchester, I'm sure, there would be added cost there. But the tickets themselves, last time I went, it was about 35 quid, which isn't insane. For the theatre, anyway. For just like a normal time of your life, yeah, it's more expensive. I think my mum went recently and she stood up the whole time and it cost her like a tenner. Which is, don't tell us. Mum has a tendency to write answers in the chat, but confirm how much you paid when you stood that time, Mum. And Tom Ives says been on the stage of that one. Pretty cool. But right now we're on question number 9. The name of this musical. And combine it with which Argentinian footballer, an Olympic gold medalist in 2008, has played for Benfica, Real Madrid, Manchester United and PSG. Which Argentinian footballer, an Olympic gold medalist in 2008, has played for Benfica, Real Madrid, Manchester United and PSG. In the chat, Adam says, come on the North End. Preston North End. I'm assuming. There are no other North Ends, are there? My mum says she paid £12 to watch musical number, was it 8? Stood Up. Was a bargain. Leonie says, that's so cheap. I can't believe this. I'm glad to be shedding you some truth bombs here, Leonie. Get down there in 2021. It's because you always look last minute. Yeah, I think that's probably true. If you look last minute, a lot of the cheaper tickets do go early. But book in advance. You can normally book about 6 months in advance. Well, we can talk about it. We can DM about it. We'll be fine. Just text me. Diego says about this footballer in question number 9. My cousin used to say that if this footballer was from Uruguay, no one would think he's that great. Diego disagrees. Certainly when he was at Manchester United, I found him a frustrating character. Of course, that was for various reasons, perhaps outside of his control. But he's definitely a guy who's got something. He's got something about him. He's, maybe inconsistent, but strong. He scored some great goals. And he's weird looking. I think that's his main weakness. Odd looking. So that was question number 9. Combine that musical with the name of the Argentinian footballer. And finally in this round, question number 10. This musical, much loved, not seen this one, would like to see this one myself, and combine it with first published by the Parker Brothers in 1935, which board game was originally called The Landlord's Game. First published by the Parker Brothers in 1935, which board game was originally called The Landlord's Game. Should be a nice, easier one for you to finish off with. I know there's some big musical fans watching. Mel has sent me a message. He said Pinhead, presumably referring to the footballer in the last question, because I myself have a big old head, could never be described as pin-like. So that's the last question in this round. Take the name of that musical and combine it with first published by the Parker Brothers in 1935, which board game was originally called The Landlord's Game. Nice, simple one to finish. So that's your lot in that round. So please make sure you've answered every question. Make a guess. If you've only got one half, try and grab something for the other half. Push them together. Try and get it done. Spell your team name correctly, same way you did it the first round. That will make it so much easier for me and Alice to mark, and then press submit. I'm going to give you, again, probably about 5 minutes, so just before past, to get those answers in. I will see you shortly. And just because some people don't always realise it, if you want a question repeated, I'm not going to repeat them, but you can just zoom back on the chat, on the YouTube, sorry. You can just scroll back on the bar and see any questions that need to be. You know that I'll be back in about 5 minutes, so I will see you then. See you shortly.
And lately you haven't been listening the way that you used to be near me. But I can't let
Hello, I am back. Most answers are in by the looks of it, just waiting on about 5 more, so if you guys could hurry up and get them through. Got another donation from Jeff Dobbs. Thank you very much, Jeff. Very kind of you. If you want to donate, you can go to paypal.me/LJ47. Send us a couple quid over. Really appreciate it. In the chat, Ellie says it's Diego's 28th birthday today. I didn't know it was today. How exciting. Happy birthday, Diego. I'm very flattered that you would spend your birthday watching the quiz. Even in these crazy old cran times. Glad to have you here. I hope Ellie has spoiled you and you've had a great day. So, let me see how many more we need in. A couple more. Great, we are there. Let's look at the answers in that round then, shall we? Answer smash musicals. So, here's what they were. Number 1. This one, of course, you've seen the film. You're aware of it as a stage show. It's The Lion King and Goneril, Regan and Cordelia all appear in King Lear. The answer that you needed to give was The Lion King Lear. Nice and easy, I think. Question number 2. The film, the musical there, based on the music of Queen, was We Will Rock You, and the 5th James Bond film is You Only Live Twice. So the correct answer was We Will Rock You, Only Live Twice. Very good. Number 3. This one, a recent hit based on a English comedy. I think the music and lyrics were by Cyndi Lauper and the book was by Harvey Fierstein. And that was Kinky Boots. And the legendary bassist of Parliament Funkadelic is Bootsy Collins. So the correct answer is Kinky Bootsy Collins. Kinky Bootsy Collins. Number 4, this one, you know what that one was. I don't think anyone got that wrong. The name of the musical, that's obviously the Phantom of the Opera. And located on the Atlantic, what is the capital city of Morocco? It's Rabat. So the correct answer is the Phantom of the Opera Rabat. The Phantom of the Opera Rabat. Number 5. This one, it's definitely been in the West End recently, and I hear very good things, is Miss Saigon. And Reg Varney starred as Stan Butler in On the Buses. So the correct answer, Miss Saigon the Buses. Miss Saigon the Buses. Number 6, this one, Bernadette Peters there in this classic musical. That is Hello Dolly. And the sweets similar to licorice all sorts are Dolly mixtures. So the answer, Hello Dolly mixtures. Number 7, this one, he looks like it. He looks like a Jesus because he's pretending to be Jesus. And that is Jesus Christ Superstar by Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber. And the predominant flavour in Chinese spice is star anise. The correct answer, Jesus Christ Superstar anise. Jesus Christ Superstar anise. Question number 8. This hit musical that we've talked about a lot in the chat is the excellent genre-bending, era-defining Hamilton. If you've not listened to it, do give it a listen. And the Nobel Prize winning author who died in 2019 is Toni Morrison. The correct answer, Toni Morrison. Toni Morrison. Question number 9. This one, of course, you know it from the car. It's Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, combined with our Argentinian footballer. The answer is Chitty Chitty Bang Bangal Di Maria. Chitty Chitty Bang Bangal Di Maria. I was very happy with that one, must say. And number 10, this very popular musical of the last decade, from the outfits and the blazers and the haircuts and the general demeanour, you can guess that that's the Book of Mormon. And of course, the board game originally called The Landlord's Game was Monopoly. The answer, the Book of Mormonopoly. The Book of Mormonopoly. So, well done, everyone. In the chat, Jack says, I've had a shocker here. Not known as a musicals guy. Demi says, will you accept Dolly Mix? I will research that one, Demi. I think Dolly Mixture is definitely the sort of non-branded name of the sweets. But then I think maybe there is a branded version that just calls them Dolly Mix. I will research that one and get back to you, but we'll see. Of course, I do like to mark you guys harshly, but you can't blame me, can you? Rodri says, we put You Only Live Once, FFS, lol. We've always been there, but you got to follow the main rule of life. Stop getting Bond wrong. Anyway, that's us done there with round 2. Let's quickly get on to round 3, which, as always, is the music round. This week, the music round theme is second best. So in this round, you're going to hear a song that reached number 2 in the UK singles charts at some time in the last 60 odd years. Never got higher, never got to number 1, but these are all very recognisable, big, famous songs. But you're not just going to be hearing them. I couldn't make it thematic properly, which I would have liked to have done. But I'm going to be playing it on this, a kazoo. Last week, if you were here, the wonderful Michelle Pelling kindly donated a little bit extra money so I could buy a kazoo. So I could do a music round on the kazoo. I've done that. I've got it. I'm going to do it. So I'm going to play 10 songs on this kazoo. I say play. It's barely playing. But you're going to hear 10 songs via me on the kazoo. I'm going to give you the year in which the single that I'm singing reached number 2 in the charts. You just have to name the artist. So don't name the song, name the artist. I think the songs will be quite easy, but maybe some of the artists will be a little bit harder. But to be honest, it's quite an easy music round, I think, but a fun one. So I'm going to play those 10 songs. Let's get to it, shall we, with question number 1. Also, to add to it, some of these songs I've not really ever properly listened to. I know them vaguely enough, but I'm just doing my rendition of it, and I think that makes it a purer experience. So here we are. This is number 2 from the year 2016. Just tuning up. That's number 1. What is the name of the artist of that song that reached number 2 in the singles charts, in the hit parade in 2016? That's number 1. Some fun in the chat. Swindle said, I put Fiddler on the roof from Russia with Love, which is a stretch. Harry says, happy birthday, Diego. We'll never forget when you were the best player at the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. Beautiful. What a guy Diego Forlan. I mean, I love Diego. You know, he's a great guy. Is he Diego Forlan? I wish Diego Forlan was doing my quiz. If anyone's got any connections to get Diego Forlan to do my quiz, I would appreciate it. Demi says, the Book of More Monopoly is just Utah, which is such a lovely bit of business. Really wonderful, Demi. Thank you for that. And Michelle does a big smile. So thank you very much, Michelle, for getting this. Rodri says, Dad says you're playing it back to front. No, you're not. Because if you do this, doesn't work. That's just my mouth. But this side, you get the buzz. It looks like you should be playing it from the tapered end, but no, actually play it from the flat end. That's something I learnt this week when I became the owner of a kazoo. Mel says, is this the pubkin singer playing a kazoo? Yeah, it basically is. It's a combination of the two. So that's your first one. Number 2, this song from 1995. Name the artist. That was your second one from 1995. Name the artist of that song. again. Remember, at any point you can just scroll back. Roger says he was joking, maybe look like a mug. Love it. Love the bounce. Got another donation from Sophie and everyone at the Blue Moon. Big love to all the guys at the Blue Moon. A great pub. Look forward to being back in it someday. So that was question number 2. Let's move on to question number 3. This song from 1967. Who performed this? I went a bit off key at the end toward there. My apologies. But I think you got the gist. So from 1967, that song, what artist had that? Got very low on there. I don't think you're supposed to go that low on a kazoo. So that's number 3. Number 4, this one from 1985. Beautiful hold it there. So what is the name of that song, or the name of the artist who performed that song from 1985? Number 5. This is one where I do know it, but I'm also mostly guessing. Oh, got another donation from the main man, Maxwell Tate. Thank you very much, Maxwell. Okay, so here it is. Number 5 from 1990, a number 2 single. I've completely gone wrong there. I think I found it at the end. I think I found that one at the end. So that's from 1990. Don't name the song, name the artist, and I'll once again do the chorus. So that's number 5. Swindle says, singing along to you playing kazoo to an interactive audience is very 2020. True. You know, it's weird that the BBC haven't booked me for Glastonbury next week, to be honest, but you know, their loss. And Harry says, if I was on The Voice, my chair would do a full 360 view. Is that a compliment? I don't know. I'll take it. Harry. Thank you. I'm surprised that no one on The Voice has not turned up with a kazoo yet. I'm sure Tom would like that. Oh, I like a kazoo. That was a spot on, Tom, as I'm sure you know. Anyway, that's number 5. Number 6. This song from the year 2000. A great year. Classic. Had this one on CD single. How did it start? Name the artist of that absolute classic Friday Nights at Fez. That song sandwiched in between Fat Lip by Sum 41 and What's My Age Again. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. I'll do the chorus again for that one. So that's number 6. On to number 7. This one from 2010. This is another one where I sort of, to be honest, I'm much more au fait with the remix, but hopefully I can get it. I think I got it. I think I got it at the end. Also, I'm just amazed that actually came out in 2010. I can't believe that can be 10 years ago. It's, where does the time go? Where does the time go? I don't know. But that one so that was number 7. On to number 8. This one from 1971. Okay, how does this go? I can't remember. I'm gonna have to Google how it starts. I've gone to a different website. Oh, of course, it's obvious when you read it, isn't it? But here we are. It's number 8. I think on the verses I sort of lost it and mashed a lot up there, but the chorus was spot on. Yaroslav, he says he's just tuned in. I wonder where you've been, man. Where you been? You're my stalwart through this thing. But glad you're here now. He says just tuned in, and what an amazing moment for that. You're not wrong. Glad to have you back there, Yaroslav. So I'll do a bit more of that. That was Song number 8. On to song number 9. This song from number 80, and this is another one that I struggle with, so I'm going to try and do it like this. Pretty spot on. I'll do the chorus there again. And Sophie says, "Wow, so talented. Did you make sheet music for this round?" Yeah, big time. Big time. To be spot on. You got it, haven't you? The message retracted crew are here. Karanjit with a beautiful Kazoo retracted. We enjoy. Tom says, "Glad Lewis is enjoying himself so much we get the whole song." I am having a good time, Tom. Cannot blame me, can you? And finally, number 10, this song from 1970. Mel's messaged me because he's disappointed that a particular number 2 I did not play. Or is it the song that beat that to number 1, Mel? Is that the case? I'm not sure. I'm not going to even repeat that one because you know what it is. Massage retracted, Cassie massaged. Lovely stuff. So that's your lot. I'm going to give you another 3 or 4 minutes to get your answers in for that. Get them in quick. And we'll hopefully get the answers sorted before 9 before we go for a quick break. So I'll see you in a couple of minutes, but make sure that you've answered every question, spell your team name correctly, press submit. You know how it goes. Remember, you're looking for the artist for all these songs. The artist, please. I will see you soon.
Down the streets of gold, and I've seen the thoughts of those you'll never know. I carry wisdom that you can't ignore. I'm not a prophet, no, but I've seen my words unfold before. And I've seen the cities crushed beneath the flood. Each other's blood. seen my words unfold before. Now every word I spoke is bought and sold, and all my fairy tales have been twice told. Still, you won't get what you've been waiting for. No.
Hello, I am back. Hope you've had a fun time with those. People seem to enjoy it. And that's what I do this for, guys. I just want you to enjoy yourselves. Rodri says, do we get a Kazoo interlude? Which Tom Ives calls a Kazoo interlude. Which, you know, I'd like to have done a... in the break, but hey, didn't happen. My apologies. But I think everyone answers in. People seem to enjoy that round. Some high scores, some very high scores in this quiz so far, which you know I love to see. The standard's pretty strong all over though, which is great. You're all very, very good. We're just waiting on a couple more people, I think. And certainly quite a few 10s in that last round, which is great. We'll see. Okay, I think that is everyone. No, maybe 2 more left. I'm not counting one because I know that one team answered the sheet for round 3 for round 2, which it happens. It happens, guys. Nothing to worry about. As always, loving the team names. Some great team names. More than anything, I love the teams. I just love you all as people. Okay, that is everyone in. So let's take a look at these scores. Okay, so number 1 in this second best music round. Number 1, that was Human by Rag and Bone Man for 2016. I had no idea that was 2016. Time moves too quickly. He was Christmas number 2 actually that year. I can't remember who he was beaten by. Number 2 was Common People by Pulp. Of course it was Sheffield's Finest from 1995. Number 3, that was Waterloo Sunset by the Kinks. Beautiful song from 1967, the Kinks. Number 4 was Take On Me by A-ha, of course. I think I was probably doing it a bit more like the Real Big Fish version, because that's what I know. That and the A-ha, though the A1 version, could have slowed it down, given it more of a Morton Harkett vibe, but I think it's still very recognisable as that song. Number 5. Sit Down by James. Do you know the guy from James played Victor Zsasz in the 2005 film Batman Begins? It's weird, but he did. Number 6, Teenage Dirtbag by Wheaties. One of the best of all time. The first Wheaties album I enjoyed. My apology in the chat. the big wave of message retracted was started when I did do a message retracted when Kat Brooks asked if anyone else had seen Wheatus in the Corn Exchange in Cambridge in about 2010. Now's the time to talk about that if you want to, guys. I don't know if my sister's doing the quiz tonight, but I'm pretty sure she was there. What was the name of that regular sort of like pop punk tour that would come around to Cambridge? I can't remember. But best to try and not give the answer during the round. It helps. Number 7 was Rolling in the Deep by Adele. I'm doing the remix. The Jamie XX remix is really good of that, particularly if you get the version with Childish Gambino rapping on it, which he released on like some of his early mixtapes. It's very, very good. But that's a bit more like it. So that was Adele. Number 8. I couldn't get the first bit right, but always reminds me of The Office when Michael is singing to the chair model lady's grave. Beautiful moment. That's American Pie by Don McLean. Number 9, Vienna by Ultravox. Oh, Vienna. And number 10, obviously Let It Be by the Beatles. So that is your lot. Some very good scores. We'll get totting up. I'm going to give you until 10 minutes past 9 to go for a Waz, get a drink. I'm going to do the same. We'll meet back here for the last 2 rounds, which I'm very happy with this week. I'm always happy with them, but particularly happy with this week. So I will see you shortly. I will leave you with some music from friend of the quiz, Daniel Penner. There's links to his music in the chat. I recommend giving it a download. He's very, very good. I'll see you shortly.
The curtain's still lowered, it's just before dawn. I'm standing here wondering I've waited so long. By the time the clock strikes 6, I'll be somewhere far, far away. No matter all the tears you shed when you asked me to stay. Went to the doctor, said I don't feel so good. My temperature's high and I'm misunderstood. But he said, son, you know I'm not that kind of doc, but I know just what to do. And if you thought for a second, I think you know it too. Said, Father, I've sinned. I spent my whole life living out on the fringe. But he said, son, you know, well, that's not a sin, but I know just how you feel. Yeah. I think you should go out and find something real. So go ahead and wipe that sad look from your eyes. I'm a magic man, you know, you shouldn't be so surprised. I've had a lot of practice, so really there's nothing to fear. Won't all of you please sit back, relax, and watch me to the delivery man. I told him I'm running as far as I can. He said, son, I don't really know you, but I hope you find what you're looking for. And if you gotta go, you ought to do it with style, you know. Yeah, so go ahead and wipe that sad look from your eyes. I'm a magic man, you know, you shouldn't be so surprised. No, I've had a lot of practice, so really there's nothing to fear. So all of you please sit back, relax, and watch me disappear. Yeah, so all of you please sit back, relax, and watch me disappear. The curtain's still lowered, it's just before dawn. I'm standing here wondering I've waited so long. By the time the clock strikes 6, I'll be somewhere far, far away. No matter all the tears you shed when you asked me to stay. I went to the doctor, said I don't feel so good. My temperature's high and I'm misunderstood. But he said, son, you know I'm not that kind of doc, but I know just what to do. And if you thought for a second, I think you know it too. I went to the preacher, said, Father, I've sinned. I spent my whole life living out on the fringe. But he said, son, you know, well, that's not a sin, but I know just how you feel. Yeah. I think you should go out and find something real. So go ahead and wipe that sad look from your eyes. I'm a magic man, you know, you shouldn't be so surprised. I've had a lot of practice, so really there's nothing to fear. Won't all of you please sit back, relax, and watch me disappear? Yesterday I spoke to the delivery man. I told him I'm running as far as I can.
Yo, I'm back. I hope you're back too. I had a nice break. I certainly enjoyed some water, and I tried, I'm trying to stand up all the time for my watch, and sometimes it doesn't recognise it. It's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. But anyway, as I said before, some very strong scores so far this quiz. A couple of teams on the full marks, which is exciting. Neither of those teams has won the quiz yet, which makes it even more exciting. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in these next 2 rounds. One of those teams certainly I think will have an advantage in this next round, perhaps. Nice little wrinkle on this next round. Hope you'll enjoy it. First, let's see what business we've got to do. Got another donation from Daniel Betts. Thank you very much, Dan, for that donation, and to all of the Betts crew. And if you want to donate, you still can. You can do it anytime. All donations are appreciated. Charity of the week is the Smile of Aaron Trust. We'd like to give them as much money as we can. So please, grab into your pockets, donate. I know there's people that do this quiz every week and have never donated. Maybe it's your time. Think about it. And in the chat, Jack says, Wheatus were the first band he ever saw in the Sands Centre in Carlisle on this day in June 2001. No joke. Incredible. Why do you remember the date so well, Jack? That's fascinating. And Phil says, blimey, full house. First week in 13 weeks that Phil's got a full 10 out of 10. So I'm delighted to hear that. Well done, Phil. And some great bands between Phil and Diego in the chat. Very supportive. I love the guys in the group chat. I love the supportive talk. There's a time for banter. There's a time for naked aggression. But support each other through these dangerous times. It's beautiful to see. Anyway, I think we better get on to the next round. The next round is called Parlez-vous, français? Parlez-vous, français? So it's a French round. But it's not just a French round. There's a little twist. I'm going to ask you a question. It's going to be a relatively simple trivia question. You need to give the answer in French. So if there's words in that answer that can be translated, they won't all be able to be translated. Some won't. Place names, perhaps. But most of them you'll be able to translate with very basic French. Just translate the word as they should be into French. And those are the answers you need to give me, the French answers. I won't accept the English answers. You'll need to give me the French answers. Let's look at an example question for this one. Here we are. So, if I asked you, born with the surname O'Dowd, which singer was the lead singer in Culture Club? That would obviously be Boy George, but you've got to give me that translated to French. So the correct answer would be Garçon Georges. Garçon Georges. That one's a slightly harder one. A lot of these, trust me, are a lot easier than that. But just answer in French. Translate the words as they would be into French. I'm not even looking for grammatically correct French. Don't really need the uns, the as, the las, the les. Just the nouns themselves are going to be the words that you need to change. But just translate them. And as I said, they're all translations that I knew off the top of my head. And I think I last studied French in year 9. So that's about 15 years ago. So it shouldn't, this is not full level. Got a message from Jenny saying the team is fuming because they think they should be on full marks, and I implied that they weren't. I've not been doing the majority of the marking, Jenny. I will double check. But as always, Quizmaster's word is final. So we'll see. But I'll take a look in the next break for you. Don't you worry about that. So let's get on with this one. Question number 1. What kind of animal is the lasagna-loving, Monday-hating title character in a comic strip by Jim Davis? What kind of animal is the lasagna-loving, Monday-hating title character in the comic strip by Jim Davis? Emma Clare says, channeling the Toby Tiger look tonight, LJ. Tony Tiger's lesser known, more attractive brother. Anyone saying that I'm more attractive than Tony Tiger, one of the greatest sex icons of the 20th and 21st century, bold claim. Thank you very much, Emma. You're too kind. People just talking French. I don't even really know what they're saying because my French is not that good. Daisy says, I did Spanish, not French. Daisy, I still think you probably have the correct level of French for this. Molly says, of course, this is the round where we don't have the man with a French degree. Their dad has a French degree, and he's not doing the quiz with them this week. That is a shame. That is a shame, Mol. I'm sure you did all right. Anyway, so that's question number 1. What kind of animal is the lasagna-loving, Monday-hating title character in a comic strip by Jim Davis? You know that comic strip, you know the title character, you know what sort of animal he is, and you know what the French word for that animal is. Ms. says, message retract. And she's put accents on it, so I know it's French. It's classy, it's very Ms., and I love to see it. So that is question number 1. Question number 2. SpongeBob SquarePants lives in a house under the sea that is in what shape? SpongeBob SquarePants lives in a house under the sea that is in what shape? Got another donation from Michelle Pelling, who says, such a kazooing success. Very tuneful, especially the long note. Muchas gracias. Lewis the Menace. Very kind from Michelle. Michelle donated the extra money so I could buy a kazoo very, very kindly. So basically the round was her idea to have kazooing. So any plaudits for the quality of the round, please send them to Michelle. She did a great job. So this is question number 2. SpongeBob SquarePants lives in a house under the sea that is in what shape? Take the name of that shape, or the shape of the thing that it is. It's not square. Le square. I don't know what's French for square. Le triangle. Triangle. I don't know. But it's in the shape of something naturally occurring. Translate that into French. That's what you need to give me as the answer. So SpongeBob SquarePants lives in a house under the sea that is in what shape? Question number 3. Actors Richard Burton, Michael Sheen and Anthony Hopkins were all born in which country? Actors Richard Burton, Michael Sheen and Anthony Hopkins were all born in which country? In terms of this, I would like a specific country. There's countries maybe part of a wider bit, but I think with the people that I've chosen, you know that I'm asking for something specific, if you could answer that. Harry's hitting us with some German. Was ist das WLAN password? I guess that's what is the Wi-Fi password in German. It sounds like that. Jack Wilson says, LJ's questions are better than good. They're great. Lovely. Leonie says, did anyone learn that song in French at school, Tu as un animal? I don't remember that one. The main song that I remember from French was Quelle date de ton anniversaire? Quelle date de ton anniversaire? Janvier, février, mars. Janvier, février, mars. Sadly, none of the months come up in this quiz. Cam says, Da bin ich überfragt. I'm not sure about that one is. Adam says, J'adore la baguette et quelquefois le pamplemousse. I know baguettes and a pamplemousse. And Jack just says carré. Over my head. Too much for me. I'm not a languages guy. Anyway, so that's question number 3. Where do those actors come from? Which country? Question number... I've got a message from Lottie. She says, we did Spanish at school, make them Spanish. If I do this round again, Lottie, and I will do Spanish for you. Because you're a legend. But I can't make them Spanish now. But in future. The problem is, I've done this one in French off the top of my head because I know some French. And basically in Spanish, all I know is... Si hay uvas, yes, there's grapes. And una cerveza, por favor, a beer, please. And mono is monkey. That's as much as I know. But hey, maybe I'll get back on Duolingo now that I've finished my degree for the year. I could learn more. We'll see. We'll see where we are next week. So that's number 3. Where do those actors come from? Number 4. Which football team in the English Championship are nicknamed the Owls and play at Hillsborough? Which football team in the English Championship are nicknamed the Owls and play at Hillsborough? One of those words does not have a direct French translation, so keep it as it is. The other one does, so just change that one. I'll need both for the answer. Oh, Jack says that carré is French for square. Interesting, thank you. So it's John Le Carré, John the Square. I share a birthday with Le Carré. Freddie says La Rochelle. the home of basically all French, of course. Rodri says Ferrero Rocher, which I'm pretty sure is Italian. Max says, if you're taking requests, can you do it in English next time? It's not a bad idea. I do have a good idea for one actually on that vibe. And Adam says, one day you should do a Russian round just for Yaroslav. I have thought about it because, Yaroslav does this quiz nearly every week, and I'm here asking questions about quite obscure kids' TV from the 90s. And he enjoys it all the same, so I should treat him to something purely about Russian and in Russian. But I only know the words da and yet, so we'll see. Anyway, that's question number 4. Which football team in the English Championship are nicknamed the Owls and play at Hillsborough? Question number 5. The biggest. I can't talk today. My apologies. I'm clinically thick. Anyway, question number 5. The biggest organisation of its type in terms of numbers of items. The red brick building situated at 96 Euston Road, London, is the British what? The biggest organisation of its type in the whole world, actually, in terms of its number of items. The red brick building situated at 96 Euston Road, London, is the British what? So it's the British blank. Turn that word into French. Give us the answer. My mum has sent me a nice picture of Chopstick the cat, which is good. He's a beautiful cat with a great name. Chopstick is a great name for a cat. So that's question number 5. The biggest organisation of its type in terms of number of items. The red brick building situated at 96 Euston Road, London, is the British what? Question number 6. In what part of the human body does mastication occur? In what part of the human body does mastication occur? Leonie says Rosé de Pamplemousse is delicious. David Lewis says question 5 ... I don't know what your problem is, David. If you've got a problem, let me know. DM me if there's any issues. I'm liable to mistakes, particularly this week, as you can tell. People are big fans of Rosé de Pamplemousse in the chat. Daniel agrees. Diego gives a big shout out to Yaroslav. The twerking from home team, they just love Yaroslav. They love Yaroslav in the chat, which is great. Jack Cunningham says, can't we do this round in Elvish or Klingon? I mean, I could try. I don't know much of either, but we can try. The stuff that people have learned at school is probably going to be more useful, but maybe you can do some Dothraki, some High Valerian. Why not? Sign language, I could learn sign language. I know the rudiments. Anyway, so that's question number 6. In what part of the body does mastication occur? Question number 7. Adapted from a novel by Alex Garland, which Danny Boyle film starred Leonardo DiCaprio and had Pure Shores by All Saints on the soundtrack. Adapted from a novel by Alex Garland, which Danny Boyle film starred Leonardo DiCaprio and had Pure Shores by All Saints on the soundtrack. The song Pure Shores was actually written for this soundtrack. Miz says, shout out to our dog, Pamplemousse. Shout out to Pamplemousse. Moose is a beautiful dog, and I miss her. And Rogelio the cat. A great team. Jack says, c'est moi que tu parlais, LJ, which is, am I talking to you? Not specifically, Jack, but I could be. Shannon says, as someone who was hated by their French teacher for absolutely no reason, this round's made me sad. I'm sorry to hear that, Shan. Very sorry to hear. I had a really... Anyone who was at Parkway, who was at Manor with me, Who was the other French teacher that we had in year 9? I didn't have Mrs. Smith, who was nice. But we had a different teacher who I remember being young. But and they were in the room that would eventually become Miss Lake's room at the bottom of the tower. I can't remember. But if anyone can remember, let me know. Daniel says, I wish I could say Pomplamoose appreciate the shout out, but I think she doesn't register TV computer sounds. Animals are weird like that. They don't really register TVs a lot of the time. And mirrors. Why don't they get mirrors? I've never understood it. It annoys me. So many times I'm holding the cat so close to the mirror. Like, that's you. Understand that that's you. Doesn't get it, but he's thick. So anyway, that's question number 7. Adapted from a novel by Alex Garland, which Danny Boyle film starred Leo DiCaprio and had Pure Shores by All Saints on the soundtrack. Question number 8. Owner of a Lonely Heart was a US #1 single for which British prog rock band who have included Rick Wakeman and Trevor Horn amongst their members. Owner of a Lonely Heart was a US #1 single for which British prog rock band who have included Rick Wakeman and Trevor Horn amongst their members. Owner of a Lonely Heart. An absolute banger from the soundtrack of Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Miz has sent me a message to say Daniel's obviously low in this round. Daniel is a pretty major linguist. So I kind of had you guys in mind when I did this. And that was Groundskeeper Willie in a video that Toby had sent me, which was a delight. Harry says throwback to his quiz. He did actually have that song in his quiz. I did think of that when I threw it in. I thought I'd throw you a bone there. Tom says, my French teacher was called Madame Bouchelet-Fontaine. The French was easy to pronounce. Lovely. Anyway, that's number 8. Owner of a Lonely Heart was a US #1 single by which British prog rock band? Question number 9. According to urban legend, the Mamas and the Papas singer Cass Elliot died choking on a sandwich with what filling? According to the urban legend, the Mamas and the Papas singer Cass Elliot died choking on a sandwich with what filling? A fact I only really know about because it's in Austin Powers. A great movie. One of the all-time best. Demi says, my French teacher was called Madame Dacoury and she was terrifying. That's a scary name. That has a gothic vibe. Still no one's telling me what the name of my French teacher was, and I'd really appreciate it. I think Alfred's probably the only person who's in my set who's doing this quiz. I can't remember. Jade, were you in my set or were you in the set below? I can't remember. You were definitely intelligent enough to be in the top set. But they made a lot of mistakes when it came to setting in Manor, as I remember. I mean, Mark was in like set 5 for something, and he was very clever. He was just he was too busy into having a laugh. But year 9 spent with people that were, a bit mad. He stepped up a bit, which was nice. Leonie also had Monsieur Thornton. Was he related to Madame Bouchelet-Thornton? Pronounced Tonton. Confusing. Paige had Mr. McCulloch. One of the guys over there. The other school that I don't like to talk about. Leonie says it's good that McDonald's is called Chez McDo in France, though. That is the main thing that I remember from France, to be honest. Leonie is saying McDo. Anyway, that's question number 9. According to urban legend, Cass Elliot died choking on a sandwich with what filling? And finally, question number 10. The flags of Poland and Indonesia are mirrors of each other, including which two colours? To get this one right, you'll need to write "and" in the middle and do the translation of the word "and." I'll be specific. So the colour and colour. That's what I want there. The flags of Poland and Indonesia are mirrors of each other, featuring which two colours? Jack says, Jade says she had Miss Smith, which is the most English-sounding French lady ever. She wasn't. She was so... I mean, did she marry someone, Jade? I can't remember. But so I think her first name was Francois, which, to be honest, is like the most French first name you can have. But she was very nice, and she never taught me. There was definitely a younger woman. And then I think like toward the end of the year we got bored, so she taught us a bit of Spanish and a bit of German instead, which was nice. I think she left after year 9. One of the many good teachers, like Miss Hinsley, who didn't like Miss Vigar because she was a bitch. Yagoda says, "Whoop whoop Poland, thank you." I did throw in a bit of a Poland reference for you, Yagoda. I know you enjoy it. Phil says his French teacher was called Killer Weston. Interesting. Adam says, I had a maths teacher called Mrs. French, but unfortunately my maths teacher wasn't called Mrs. Maths. That's a shame. That's how it works sometimes. I had a maths teacher called Dave Kerr, and he looked exactly like Michael Barrymore. It was a great time. Anyway, those are your questions. In that 4th round, I'm going to give you 4 minutes, so up until 25 minutes to 10, to answer those questions. Please make a guess. If you don't, you got the first answer, make a guess. If you don't know the answer, just guess. Always make a guess. Spell your team name correctly as you have the last couple of times. Press submit, send it through to us. So I'm going to give you only 2 or 3 minutes to do that, and I'll be right back with you.
And lately you haven't been listening the way you used to be near me, but I can't let it
Okay, I am back. Let's see where we are. Still waiting for about 4 people to get their answers back. But answers looking good. You guys know your stuff. You know your French, which is great. Alfred can't remember the name of our Year 9 French teacher, but he says she was very good at the accent shortcuts on a computer keyboard, which is useful. In the chat, Jack says that Jade has said she's phoned a friend. Could have been Mrs. Rowe. That does ring a bell. But I'm not sure what with. I do feel like clearly this wasn't a time that I was paying that much attention. But hopefully we can get to the bottom of this. I'm glad that someone remembers. Mrs. Rowe. Miss Rowe, yeah. The more I say it, the more it feels right, Jade. Great teamwork. Also, it seems just people are just whacking out some memories here. Regarding our maths teacher, Mr. Kerr, Paige says, Ricky said everyone called him Wayne. They did. Wayne Kerr, of course. Most memorable to us because Simon Ruggles wrote a parody of Franz Ferdinand's single Michael about Dave Kerr. That when his name's Kerr, you see, does maths with glee, looks like Barrymore Michael. There was references to Strike It Lucky with and swimming pools. It was very good. And surds. And Demi says, I had a math teacher named Mrs. Forrest and she sneezed on me once. This is unlocking so many school memories. I mean, that's weird. Did she sneeze on you on purpose? That's very strange. Wouldn't get away with it in this climate, this economy. Cam says, I had a French teacher called Mrs. Flannery, but she wasn't a flannel. Interesting. Classic Cam. Alfred says, I feel like it was more like Fletcher. But where have you got that from, mate? Alfred just got that off his own piece. Rowe is bringing me more memories than Fletcher. I think we can all agree we had Mr. Novak at middle school anyway. Anyway, I think that is everyone in. So let's take a look at what the answers were for that round about French. Parlez-vous français? So, Q numero 1. What kind of animal is the lasagna-loving, Monday-hating title character in a comic strip by Jim Davis? Of course, the character is Garfield. Garfield is a cat. So the correct answer, un chat. Chat will be fine. As I said, you don't need the ands and uns or whatever. Number 2, SpongeBob SquarePants lives in a house under the sea. In what shape? The shape of that house is a pineapple. Pineapple, l'ananas. Of course, le is the, so ananas is fine. I like it with the le, l'ananas. Ananas is fine. Number 3, actors Richard Burton, Michael Sheen and Anthony Hopkins were all born in which country? They were all born in Wales. Of course, they're 3 of the Port Talbot 4. And I can't remember what the derivation of it is, but the French name for Wales is Pays de Galles. Pays de Galles. Number 4, which football team in the English Championship are nicknamed the Owls and play at Hillsborough? That's, of course, Sheffield Wednesday, up the Owls. This fine city's own. And Sheffield hasn't got any translation, but Wednesday does. The correct answer is Sheffield Mercury. Sheffield Mercury. Number 5, the biggest organisation of its type according to number of items. The red brick building situated at 96 Euston Road, London is the British what? It's got the most books and stuff because it's the British Library, and the French word for library is bibliothèque. Bibliothèque. La discothèque? La discothèque. Number 6. In what part of the human body does mastication occur? That is the mouth, and the mouth is the bouche. Amuse-bouche, croque-en-bouche, etc. The bouche, the mighty bouche. Number 7. Adapted from a novel by Alex Garland, which Danny Boyle film starred Leo DiCaprio and had Pure Shores by All Saints on the soundtrack. Pure Shores, perhaps a clue. So, The Beach was the name of the film. So the correct answer is La Plage. La Plage. Mer, I think a couple of people put it's like sea, but no, it's La Plage, which is actually the beach. But, number 8. Easy one for the translation, this, but maybe a harder one for the question. Owner of a Lonely Heart was a single for which British prog rock band? Which British prog rock band? That was yes, so obviously that is oui. Number 9, according to urban legend, Mama Cass died choking on a sandwich It was a ham sandwich. Mama Cass, deceased ham sandwich from Austin Powers, and ham is jambon. And number 10, the flags of Poland and Indonesia are mirrors of each other, featuring which two colours? So it's split down the middle, and one's got red on top, one's got white on top, the other one's the other way around. They're red and white, so the correct answer there would be rouge et blanc. Or, of course, also accept blanc et rouge. Either way, that's fine. But those are your answers for that round. Very well done. Again, some very, very good answers all around. What's happening in the chat? Cam says, I've typed nothing until now. The rest has been my housemates. Well, that's great. The many faces of Cam. Someone, perhaps Cam, maybe not Cam, says, I think you look like Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes. Interesting. Leonie says, Senorita Hill once cried because I refused to cheat in a GCSE oral exam. No word of lie. Wow. How did she just want you to read out what you'd said there? And have you taken those methods into your own teaching, Leonie? That's the big question. Rodri says, Land of the Gauls, which paid a gal. That makes sense. Daniel says, Fuda Fafa. Fuda Fafa. That's most of what I know about France. Adam says, do we get the point for saying the British Library? Yeah, that'd be fine. Bibliothèque was the only bit we needed, but you've gone overboard, but we enjoy it. Jack gives us an update. Cheltenham are 2-0 up in the League 2 playoff semi-final. Rodri's happy because he got all 10. Well done, Rod. Helen says, will you accept just ananas? Yeah, we'll accept that because you didn't need the la. And Daisy says, do we get point for just gal? I'm afraid not, Daisy. Pay the gal is the full thing for that. I don't think I could accept it just for that bit. I'll do some research to double check just in case that is the thing they call it, but I'm pretty sure it's always just pay the gal. And Adam has asked, do we get blanche for the last one? Let me check. I mean, anyone better versed in French, maybe Daniel, if you could tell me the difference between blanche and blanc. But yeah, as far as I can see it, the internet is happy with blanche being the same as blanc, so I think we'll accept that, Adam, no problem. Anyway, on to the last round of the evening, which as always is the connections round. You love it. So, if you've not done this one before, it works thus. You're going to get 10 questions. The first 9 questions will be pretty general knowledge about different subjects. However, all or part of the answers that you get to questions 1 to 9 will connect somehow, and that will be the answer to question number 10. What is the connection? If you get the connection, you'll get 6 points. Every other answer will just give you 1 point. The connections are sometimes more obvious, sometimes they're harder, sometimes they're a bit more literal, sometimes it's like a word cloud of associated words. This week I think is going to be interesting. I think it gets easier towards the end, but I imagine some of you will do very well on it. So, here we go. Let's get going. Question number 1 in this round. AC Slater, Kelly Kapowski, and Samuel Screech Powers were all characters in which 90s US teen sitcom? AC Slater, Kelly Kapowski, and Samuel Screech Powers were all characters in which 90s US teen sitcom? Ellie sent a message saying, because of pronunciation, do we still get ananas correct? We'll still give you it, yep. Not just because it's Diego's birthday, but yeah, spelling's here and there, isn't it? You've clearly given the right vibe. We try and be quite fair when it comes to spellings, because there's a lot of things that you won't necessarily know the spelling of. Their thing might be things you've just heard, and that's completely fine. But yeah, the answer you've given is within the boundary, so I think that'll be fine, Ellie, no problem. So that's question number 1. AC Slater, Kelly Kapowski, and Samuel Screech Powers were all characters in which 90s US teen sitcom? Question number 2. The towns of Huddersfield and Halifax are both in which county of England? The towns of Huddersfield and Halifax are both in which county of England? Going to need you to be specific there as well, please. And just double checking the answers in the last round, and people did really well. Another really good one. Very impressed by everyone. A couple of newer teams as well. Doing very, very well. Love to see it. Jack says, "Can I have Deirdre?" I don't know about what question you're asking. Deirdre Rashid, presumably. You just want Deirdre Rashid. Leonie says, regarding Halifax, that's where I'm from. Well, I'm from Brickhouse. Huge Tumblr contingent from those ends. Too true. Some of my favourite people from Tumblr from there. Well, two. You and Siobhan. Both legends. And I find every time I've visited Halifax, I've had a lovely time. I think, was it Al Pacino or Robert De Niro who once went there, like in the last 5 years, just had a meal there? I can't remember. Jack says it was a joke about Blah. Of course it was. Sorry that I didn't get that. I running on that Corrie tip, didn't manage to get it. There's a Corrie question later in this round, actually. Surely you'll do well there. The answer's not Corrie. I've not given it away. And it's not about Deirdre or Blanche either. Sadly, both legends. Much missed. It's just all Gale now. Too much Gale. Too much Gale and Audrey. Anyway, that's question number 2. The towns of Huddersfield and Halifax are both in which county of England? Question number 3. In what century was the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints established? In what century was the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints established? Regarding that last round, I got a message from Sophie, who wants me to know that her housemates are much better at quizzes than her. She'd have only got 4 on that last round. It's a team effort, so that's how it works. You bring things together. Even, I'm pretty good at quiz, sure, we know this, but me doing a quiz on my own would never be that good. You need a team around you. You need to bounce answers off people, back and forth. Get yourself thinking in a different way. I actually always find just say stuff out loud. It might help you. Talk out loud. It'll help. Anyway, that's question number 3. In what century was the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints established? Question number 4. Which child actress who worked as a diplomat as an adult gives her name to a drink of ginger ale and grenadine? Which child actress who worked as a diplomat as an adult gives her name to a drink of ginger ale and grenadine? I always know when things are getting a bit serious because the chat stops. Sometimes there's just not constant chat in the live chat, and sometimes I'll throw a few questions out and people are like, oh, and it's nothing. You're all too busy concentrating, and that's fine. That's question number 4. Which child actress who worked as a diplomat as an adult gives her name to a drink of ginger ale and grenadine? Question number 5. Which element with atomic number 12 is highly flammable and burns with a bright white light, as commonly shown in upper school chemistry lessons? Which element with atomic number 12 is highly flammable and burns with a bright white light, as commonly shown in upper school chemistry lessons? Austin in the chat says it's cocktails. Of course, it's always cocktails. This, the people that I went to school with, which I'm pretty sure is just Alfred and... No, I went to middle school with Stacey as well, and Jade. I think we did this experiment in maybe year 7. Remember doing it in the bigger of the 2 science labs, with probably Mrs. Tyler. What's Mrs. Tyler up to nowadays? What's Mr. Tyler up to nowadays? The whole of the Parkway crew. I hope they're well wherever. Great days in those red jumpers. So that's question 5. Which element with atomic number 12 is highly flammable and burns with a bright white light, as commonly shown in upper school chemistry lessons? Question number 6. Positioned in the North Atlantic Ocean to the west of the Gulf Stream, what is the only sea that has no land borders? Positioned in the North Atlantic Ocean to the west of the Gulf Stream, what is the only sea that has no land borders? Leonie says, science teachers are always doing that. Get a new trick, guys. Too true. Too true. What tricks do you use in the English teaching profession, Leonie? Is there anything you like to rock out? You can't have the excitement of the explosion, but I'd like to see it. Demi says, my science teacher never did that. He did let me steal a cigarette a few times, though. Sounds like could have been a paedophile. Got to watch out for that. I don't remember. I'm thinking about it. I don't remember doing any chemistry in all of upper school, really. Apart from like learning about the Haber-Bosch process and Miss Weston like telling me and Alfred like trying to be all cool and being like, yeah, this is really crazy shit. And looking back, that was insane. She was a strange woman, but not nice enough. Yeah, it's really crazy shit actually. But Leonie says she uses the trick of being a great and likable person. Seems good. Seems like the trick that more teachers should do, and certainly when I was growing up, not enough teachers did. Talking to you, Mrs. Todd, I got on with Mrs. Todd, but Mrs. Young, am I right? Parkway guys know. The Parkway crew know. That's question number 6. Positioned in the North Atlantic Ocean to the west of the Gulf Stream, what is the only sea with no land borders? Question number 7. Who was Queen Consort of England between 1533 and 1536 before they were beheaded for treason? Who was Queen Consort of England between 1533 and 1536 before they were beheaded for treason? Everyone's doing all right. I'm annoyed because I'm doing this quiz with you guys, and according to Twitter, E4 are doing that thing where they're like showing old episodes of Big Brother, and tonight's one is about when Jackie Stallone appeared and said, "Yeah, Bracky," which for me is the greatest moment of television of all time. Yeah, Bracky. Can't beat it. I'll catch up on that later. I look forward to it. Anyway, that's question number 7. Who was Queen Consort of England between 1533 and 1536? Question number 8. Which Coronation Street character is this? The longest standing female character on the show. Which Coronation Street character is this? The longest standing female character on the show. I don't think she's a regular currently. She makes intermittent appearances, but I think she's run pretty much since like 1961 with old Ken Barlow, the longest running character overall. And we know he's a pervert, so Ken Barlow, Ken Barlow, Ken Barlow, Ken Barlow. So that's question number 2. Which Coronation Street character is this? The longest standing female character on the show, longest overall after Kembalo. I'll need the first name and surname of that character, please. Not just the first name. Question number 9, the final normal question. Wilbur the Pig befriends a barn spider in which children's novel by E.B. White, adapted into a live-action film in 2006. Wilbur the Pig befriends a barn spider in which children's novel by E.B. White was adapted into a live-action film in 2006. And that is the lot. So we go to the last question, which as always is, what is the connection? I think you can probably sum up the connection in maybe just one word this week. 2 words would probably do as well. But it's not an overcomplicated one. But it's definitely there. I think some of you will definitely get it. I'm not sure if it will be the widest spread. But then I thought last week was harder. I always underestimate how much people love Friends, the TV show. But how much do you love the connection this week? I just don't know. So get your answers in. I'm going to give you until 10 p.m, so 4 minutes time before we get the answers, and then we should be able to quickly tell you what the winner of the quiz is. So please answer every question, make a guess. If you've got the connection, work yourself backwards, try and get something in. Spell your team name as you've done it every time, press submit, send it through to me and Alice. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with the answers.
Down the streets of gold, and I've seen the thoughts of those you'll never know. I carry wisdom that you can't ignore. I'm not a prophet, no, but I've seen my words unfold before. And I've seen the cities crushed beneath the flood. Each other's blood.
Hello, I am back. Your answers are not back. Clearly, you guys are thinking about these ones. So please get them in. We've only got about 10 in, which is about a quarter. Hurry and get them up. I always feel bad when I've not finished by 10. I don't know where the time's gone. Every time, I don't know where the time's gone. But my apologies. Hopefully, if you get these answers in quickly, we can do it. And sometimes, guys, if you don't know the answer, you just don't know the answer. But a lot of people have done well. You really have. I'm impressed. No more humorous chat in the live chat. That's a shame. Sitting here, nodding my head. Nodding my head, waiting for you guys. Still waiting for about 14. I'm just going to read the front page of the BBC. Well, the government have fucked up. What are the chances of that? Crazy. Bad bunch of people. Premier League mystery over professional haircuts. That's my sort of headline. They love having a haircut, those footballers. Still waiting for about 10 more answers. We haven't got all night, get them in. I'm going to give you until 22:04 to get them in. If they're not in by then, I just won't count them. I'm sorry to be harsh, but sometimes I have to be. Got a message from Josh. Demi's done the face app on me to make me a woman, and he says I look like Amy Pond, which is, as kind a compliment can be, because I'm pretty sure Karen Gillan is the most attractive woman to ever live. But I'll take it. Yagoda says, "Can we change our connection, please?" I'm afraid you can't, mate. If you've submitted, you've submitted. There's no going back. I'm afraid. It happens. My appalls. So you've got about 30 seconds left to get your answers in, or I just won't count it. Press submit. She says Ollie submitted it without confirming. Ollie. And this is why it was better when Dan was in charge of your team. Am I right? We'll see. Okay, we're at 22:04. That's enough time. Also in the chat, Jack says it's not humorous, but I think my without musicals, this could have been my week. You have looked strong otherwise, Jack, for sure. Daisy says, "Hurry up, you guys. We submitted ages ago. Could have been thinking of C's the whole time. Disqualify them, all caps." That's lovely, Days. No, I think everyone's in, so let's get a look at these BBs. Bad boys. AC Slater, Kelly Kapowski, another great shout for the most attractive woman of all time, and Samuel Screech Powers were all characters in which US sitcom of the 1990s. That, of course, was Saved by the Bell. Number 2, the towns of Huddersfield and Halifax are both in which county of England? I asked you to be specific. I'll only accept this specific answer: West Yorkshire. There is no county of Yorkshire. There's an idea of Yorkshire. There's a dream of Yorkshire. But it is split up into the 4 constituent counties: north, east, south, and north, west, south, and the East Riding. I did ask you for the specific answer, so West Yorkshire is what I'll accept. Question number 3. In what century was the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints established? That was the 19th century, so the 1800s. 1830, I think it was. Of course, that's also known as the Mormon Church. Second appearance for them tonight. Which child actress who worked as a diplomat as an adult gives her name to a drink of ginger ale and grenadine? That is Shirley Temple. Number 5. Which element with atomic number 12 is highly flammable and burns with... Oh, Alf said no screen. My apologies. Thank you for reminding me. Sometimes I forget. In this rush, I'm trying to get finished. So the answers were Saved by the Bell, West Yorkshire, 19th century, Shirley Temple. The element with the atomic number 12 is highly flammable. That is magnesium. Number 6, positioned in the North Atlantic Ocean to the west of the Gulf Stream, what is the only sea that has no land borders? That is Sargasso Sea. Number 7, who was Queen Consort of England between 1533 and 1536? That was Anne Boleyn. Number 8, which Coronation Street character is this? This is Emily Bishop. Emily Bishop. Number 9, the last one, Wilbur the Pig befriends a barn spider. In which novel? That's in Charlotte's Web. So, what is the connection? You've got Belle, West Yorkshire, 19th century, Shirley, Agnes, Sargasso, Anne, Emily, and Charlotte. Well, Belle was the famous pseudonym used by these sisters to publish because they were women, but they needed to pretend to be men. Cara Bell, one of them. West Yorkshire is the county where their home of Haworth was. They were all born and lived in the 19th century. Shirley was a novel by one of them. So was Agnes Grey. Wide Sargasso Sea by Jean Rhys was a sequel or retelling of Jane Eyre. Anne, Emily and Charlotte were their names. Their connection is the Bronte sisters. And there is a painting of them done by their brother Bramwell, who was originally painted in there, and he decided to get rid of himself. Just wanted the sisters in. So that is your lot. Some good answers, some good connections there. Well done to all of you. So give me 5 minutes or so while we touch up these final answers, and we'll find out who's won the quiz. I will be right back with you. This is just my face.
The curtain's still lowered, it's just before dawn. I'm standing here wondering I've waited so long. By the time the clock strikes 6, I'll be somewhere far, far away. No matter all the tears you shed when you asked me to stay. Went to the doctor, said I don't feel so good. My temperature's high and I'm misunderstood. But he said, son, you know I'm not that kind of doc, but I know just what to do. And if you thought for a second, I think you know it too. Said, Father, I've sinned. I spent my whole life living out on the fringe. But he said, son, you know, well, that's not a sin, but I know just how you feel. Yeah. I think you should go out and find something real. So go ahead and wipe that sad look from your eyes. I'm a magic man, you know, you shouldn't be so surprised. I've had a lot practice, so really there's nothing to fear. Won't all of you please sit back, relax, and watch me disappear? Yesterday I spoke to the delivery man. I told him I'm running as far as I can. He said, son, I don't really know you, but I hope you find what you're looking for. And if you gotta go, you ought to do it with style, you know. Yeah, so go ahead and wipe that sad look from your eyes. I'm a magic man, you know, you shouldn't be so surprised. No, I've had a lot of practice, so really there's nothing to fear. So all of you please sit back, relax, and watch me disappear.
Hey, it's me. How's it going? Great quiz. Glad you were all here. Thank you very much for being so. I enjoyed it. Got a couple more last minute donations. Thank you to the lovely Brenna John, who I only realised is now sending me money every week because for some reason her PayPal is in her mum's name. I just thought her mum was watching every week and she'd not mention it, which was weird. And to the wonderful Kat McMullen, thank you to both of you for your donations. All donations always appreciated. Lewis, paypal.me/LJ47 if you would like to donate. Thank you to all of you. Tight quiz this week, guys. Tight. Too tight maybe. But actually it's what we call a draw. It is a draw. Two teams managed to get the whole shebang, the 55 out of 55. So I will not be ending the quiz here. We will be ending the quiz in some sort of call on Zoom, I imagine, that I will record and I will put on the Facebook page. It will be exciting. Also, I need a little bit extra time because I need to write the questions. I should prepare for a draw, and yet I never do. But those two teams that I will be contacting to find out if they are in to win this final, those two teams are the current champs, Best Fens Forever, captained by Jenny, and former winners, haven't won for a while, back at it now, COVID's 19s Forever, Pull Yourself Together, captained by Alfred. Two extremely strong performances. Sadly, just behind them, it could have been a multiple draw, but the Minty Chocolate team, always the bridesmaid, with 54, and they had Twerking From Home, captained by the birthday boy Diego, also on 54, and then some teams on 53 behind them, including Lewis Jones in the fast lane, captained by Leone, and Maker's Mark, Matthew, Luke and John, captained by Miz, and Quiz Tarrant with Hannah Hitchens' team. So it's tight. It's been very tight, guys. I will call the people that I need to call shortly. Prepare yourselves for a head-to-head. Get your best player on the job, and I will be in touch with you shortly. For the rest of you, I hope you've had fun. Please look out for the Facebook page for the final shortly, maybe in the morning. I know you need to get to bed. If you've not donated already, you can at paypal.me/LJ47. I'll appreciate it. But if I don't call you in a minute, I will see you shortly. I love you very much. You're very nice people. It's a pleasure to spend Thursday evenings with you. Stay safe. Be nice to people. And go well. I'll see you soon.
The curtain's still lower, it's just before dawn. I'm standing here wondering I've waited so long. By the time the clock strikes 6, I'll be somewhere far, far away. No tears you shed when you asked me to stay.